All right, good evening or good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining, and for those who will watch later, thanks for checking out the recording of the stream. We are in Nice today, and although it's a bit later already in the evening, it's around sunset in Nice. I've set our simulator time 3 hours to the past, so we can have a bit of an overview of the scenery. It's still nicer to fly in the daylight and arrive in the daylight than later in the evening. I'm not alone in this stream. Bas is in the TUI and Erwin is in the Brussels airline plane. They're a bit further in the distance, and maybe other people will also join us later. The goal of today's stream is simply flying the Toliss Airbus A321 Neo. Last time I've flown this on a stream was around the holidays, I think between Christmas and New Year. And this time it's a special livery because I've made this Wizz Air livery in the past, I think 2 days ago or 3 days ago. And that's why I wanted to use this. And we are flying to Charleroi because it's the airport I've made for X-Plane 11. And there were some updates recently, especially mainly because of the runway extension that happened at the beginning of October. I mean, the inauguration happened in the beginning of October, the middle of October. So now when we will be landing, we'll see a longer extended runway under us. Of course, the touchdown point is still the same, so that will not be a big difference. But I thought this was a nice theme to fly for. So we just jump into the cockpit. I've already prepared some data, some paperwork. So there's our sim briefing. I've already fueled the airplane with 7.3 tons of fuel. There is 200 passengers and 1 tons of cargo underneath. And we also have a checklist. And I have another checklist, a more extended checklist in front of me on the iPad. And there are the charts for the airport, the taxi, and the departure, the expected departure route already prepared. So we'll just start up the plane and then contact ATC in the meantime. So what we do is we check if the master switches of the engine are off. The engine mode selectors are normal. I hope the audio levels are also fine for you. The battery voltages are fine. And then we can turn on the battery 1 that powers battery 2. Then we power battery 2 on. There is power and external power is available. We put external power on. We put a bit brighter lights because we are during the day. And then we also turn on the cockpit lights, the brightness of the screens, so we can actually see stuff while they do our self check. All the screens go up in brightness. I've already checked that QNH is 1020 for now. And we are more or less on sea level, so that should be normal. And correct, cockpit lights are as set as required, brightness of the 6 displays is set, brightness of the MCD units is set. We can check the flap positions are retracted also on the lever, so that's good. And the speed brakes lever is also retracted. Then we can do our flow on the top, on the overhead. We put the crew oxygen supply on. We put the ADIRS to nav. We always wait till the on but extinguishes. It's not necessary for the simulator, but in real life, I think that's what they do. And then the third two. And that's good. And then we put strobe lights to auto, navigation logo lights to 1 or 2, seatbelt signs on, no smoking signals auto, and emergency lights are armed. We do a light test. Everything seems to be lit, so that's good. Landing elevation is auto, crossfeed is auto. These two bolts are normal for now. Also these we put on the fuel pumps because the fueling is already completed. And then we do our fire checks, but for that I'm going to put this up here so you can see that that also works. Alright, that's good. APU test, also good. And the engine 2 fire test is also passed. Here the radio goes on. And then we go down. Here we don't need too much light. And yes, the radio panels are the ones that needs to go on here too. And we can also put on our transponder on standby and already prepare that when we do look at our TCAS, then I would like to see the above parameters. So this part of the flight is then prepared. We put this on to land mode, zoom in a bit, and also take this out. And then we can go further with the planning. And load in our chart, our flight plan, which is here. And then this goes to data, GPS monitor, and then we can do the init page first. So we are flying from Lima Foxtrot Mike November, to Echo Bravo Charlie India, and our alternate airport is Luxembourg, Echo Lima X-ray. Our flight number is going to be Wizz Air 2185 as usual. Our cost index is 234. Our flight level is going to be 280, that's not very high. 280, and the temperature at that level is 280, somewhere in the middle of the route, minus 41 degrees Celsius. If you don't do that manually, it will auto-calculate it based on the standard atmosphere. And then with the NEO, the IRS initialization goes a bit differently, because you can here click, check if the position is correct to the average GPS position. And then we can actually see that 43.39.5 is good, 5.12.9, that needs to be 4. And that's good, and then we can align on reference and confirm IRS initialization. So the IRS is aligning now. Here it says 7 minutes at least for the alignment. And then we can go to the route. And here also the flight plan. I put this to flight plan, it can be closed. And then we need to contact ATC if there is ATC. And just a few minutes ago there was still ATC, and okay, there should be still ATC because Marseille control is online. So we are going to tune to Marseille control, and we will try to do that nicely manually here. It's 126.155, 126.155.
Cambré la descente.
Alright, so there
Cambré
is...
pour la descente Air France Delta Golf.
Control Papa November Delta, report runway vacated. Thanks for your job. Have a good night.
Papa November Delta, welcome to LFMN. You stay with me for now. Taxi, do you have a standard preference?
Okay, thanks on point, sir. Have a good night. Thanks for your job.
Yes, but it was not my question. My question is, you first need to taxi, so taxi stand 7, Via Tango.
Okay, stand 7, Via Tango, Papa November Delta.
Correct, report on black.
Marseille control B9 8 Delta Foxtrot, stand 23 Charlie at Nice, request pushback and start.
B9 8 Delta Foxtrot, push and start approved, facing south and Delta.
Push and start approved, facing south, B9 8 Delta Foxtrot.
FCC 0049, leaving my airspace, Monitor Unicam 122.8, good night.
Good night, Monitor Unicam 122.8.
Marseille control, Wizz Air 2185, good evening.
Wizz Air 2185, hello sir.
Wizz Air 2185 is an Airbus A321 Neo at stand 52 Charlie in Nice. We would like to request IFR clearance to Echo Bravo Charlie India.
Wizz Air 2185, start up approved to Charleroi, departure Irma 6 Alpha, runway 04 right, initial climb level 130, squawk 5202.
Clear to Charleroi, runway 04 right. The departure is the Airmar 6 Alpha, squawk 5202, and say again the initial climb, Wizz Air 2185.
Wizz Air 2185, initial climb level 130, established.
Initial climb 130, Wizz Air 2185.
Wizz Air 2185, read back, correct.
Alright, so let's set our squawk.
France 0310, piste 31 droite, intersection Delta 6, alignez-vous, autorise de décollage, vent 320 degrés, 12 nœuds.
Squawk 5202, initial climb 130. And then we can set our route into the flight computer. Departure is 04 right, the Irmar 6 Alpha, was it? No transition, yes. Oh yeah, and I would like to see this, okay. And from Irmar we do Airways, an upper November 853, upper November 853, and then the November 853, okay, November 853 via, what did I say? November 853, November 853 via Iber, that's correct, and then Yankee 37 via Dick, that's correct, to Bati. And that's it, insert, and then we go to Bati, and from there it's our arrival to Charleroi, and if there is not going to be ATC, then we are going to do the Bati 45 Bravo, because it's shorter, and no vias, and we do no transition, insert, and then here we need to do a bit of a cleaning up, because we don't want to fly first to Gosseli VOR, but we want to do a direct to the final approach fix. And that is correct, okay? Then we can also quickly prepare our not the standby, but the alternate flight plan for deviation. And the route there is Echo Bravo Charlie India, departure runway 24, Ritax for Unicom, Ritax for Uniform, Ritax
0310, identifié, montez niveau 220.
to Ritax, and then from Ritax direct to Digerik. And that's the VOR. The first two are the same actually, so that's fine. And then from there it's arrival to Luxembourg. And that's 06. And then it is direct, interesting. So no vias, no star. Transition none, insert, so then it would be a direct to 06 final. Okay, anyway, we would expect there to be ATC if that would be necessary, so no issues there. Then we can go to the init B page, put this back to arc, and put on the constraints and zoom into 10.
Beauty 015 is ready for push and start. Beauty 015, push and start approved, facing west.
Then we can already know that
approved, facing west.
we will expect facing west.
8 Delta Foxtrot when ready, taxi holding point runway 04 left via Delta, uniform Charlie 1.
And we know Delta Uniform Charlie 1 is going to be the expected taxi.
When ready, taxi
So
to
we are
holding point 04 left via Delta, uniform Charlie 1.
Oh, that might not be for us.
Delta Foxtrot.
So 70.6.
Delta Golf, descendez au niveau 8-0 depuis Delhi, autorisé d'approche ILS Zulu 31 droite, rappelez Delhi.
And the block fuel is 7.3
On descend au niveau
tons.
8-0 et depuis Delive autorisé à approcher LS 30
And then we have an
droite
extra time of more than 30 minutes,
Delta
so
Golf.
that's good.
Air France Delta Golf, QNH Marseille 10-21.
10-21 pour KNH Air France Delta Golf.
And we do normal takeoff flaps 1, and the V1 sorry, is 146. V rotation speed is 150, and the V2 is 153. transition altitude, and he didn't say that, but we are going to quickly check that. Maybe it's
French West
online.
302, autorisé approche ILS Zulu, piste 02, rappelez établi. Autorisation approche ILS Zulu, rappelez établi.
Transition altitude is 5,000, so that's correct. Good. So we were here, and then there was a
Delta 6700, nous sommes prêts au repoussage. Delta 6700, repoussage approuvé, face sud.
Okay, so performance data is
Repoussage
done.
approuvé, face au sud, Delta 6700.
We still need to set the winds, not the step altimeters. Wind, request wind data, next phase, and then set the cruise winds at IMAR. And that's here in our briefing package. IMAR wind is 62.22 at flight level 280. And is that changing a lot during our flight? Maybe at Moblo it gets stronger. Moblo it gets stronger. 61.34. And then does it get any very different? Bottom.
Control, beeline 8 Delta Foxtrot, holding short,
50.28.
Charlie 104 left.
Beeline Delta Foxtrot, cross runway 04 left, taxi holding point 04 right, via Whiskey 3.
And there is a big change to IBERA. Okay, we will still put that in.
Cross 04 left,
16.26.
then taxi to holding point for 04 right.
Okay, now with the fresh
via
winds,
Whiskey 3,
we
beeline 8,
are
Delta
still
Foxtrot.
good with the fuel, more than 30 minutes extra time, so that's good. Then we can go to performance, close this, and go back here to the airports. Let's set plan. The arc is now available. Darren can go on. A bit dimmer, and here in the other I'd like to see the nav with 20, and then with the weather and the TCAS it's better visible there. Okay, this is good. All the FMGS initiation is good. Startup preparation, burrows is set. Flight director buttons are pressed. LS skills and stuff is set. ATC cleared altitude is set. Volumes timers are prepared. Transponder mode is on standby. And then MCD is set to performance, takeoff and flight plan. Then we can start the APU.
Delta 6700, camp prêt, roulez point d'attente piste 34.
And hey Dennis, thanks for joining. So we start our APU.
Delta 6700, vous pouvez répéter s'il vous plaît? Delta 6700, camp prêt, roulez point d'attente piste 34.
And there is Bas and Erwin in the background. Our APU is starting. Normally soon you can see some exhaust gases appearing.
Nous procédons au repoussage pour piste 34, pour départ piste 34, Delta
Yep,
6700.
the APU exhaust is
Delta
visible.
6700, vous êtes déjà clearé pour le repoussage, je vous disais quand vous êtes prêt, roulez point d'attente piste 34. Ah, je vous reçois pas très bien, désolé. Donc on rappelle pour rouler, pour roulage. Delta 6700. Delta 6700 négatif. Roulez pour l'attente piste 34, camp prêt et rappelez prêt au départ.
And then the
Bien
APU is
reçu,
available.
camp prêt pour point d'arrêt, piste 34, Delta 6700. Transavia 290, proceed direct inland, expect ILS Zulu 35 left.
External power on, APU bleed on, off, sorry, external power off, APU bleed on, and it's probably very warm already in the cabin because we didn't take care of the air conditioning before. Yeah, nice 32-35 degrees.
015 is ready for taxi.
So that's going to be better
Transavia
soon.
290, please you copy?
Okay, let's do a before start checklist. Now that we have actual checklist prepared, so cockpit preparation and cockpit.
Transavia 290,
Gear pins and covers are removed, signs are on and auto, ADIRs are set enough, fuel quantity is set and balanced, takeoff data is set, bar reference is set.
Transavia 290.
Window doors are closed and armed. Beacon lights.
290 direct inland, expect ILS Zulu 35 left.
Okay. Before start check, this is complete.
Delta Foxtrot, line up runway 04 right, clear for takeoff, wind 090 degrees, 09 knots.
Line up and clear for takeoff, runway 04 right.
We'll wait till Bas gets his taxi instructions and then we'll push.
15 taxi holding point, runway 04 left, via Tango Alpha 1.
So we'll probably also taxi via Tango and Alpha 1.
Taxi holding point 04 left via Tango and Alpha 1, beauty 015.
And where is Alpha 1? Tango, where is it Tango? Yeah, Tango. Okay, we have to check on the map.
Hello sir, identify direct Zapier.
Tango, oh yeah, Bravo 1, Charlie 1, okay, so Alpha 1 is at the very end, I guess. Okay, Tango all the way and then Alpha 1.
Wing Street, Papa 0, proceed direct Zapier.
Direct Spazier, Euro 3, Professor.
Okay, so we'll wait till Bas passes behind us and then request pushback and start.
French West 302, piste 02, autorisé atterrissage 24.
Autorisation, autorisation atterrissage, piste 02.
But we can of course already prepare in the meantime. That seems to be a good position.
Run to cockpit, bladder knowledge, call me through the menu when you are ready.
Oh, there is Erwin taking off. And there is Bas coming in. Alright, so he's passed behind, then we can ask for our startup and pushback. Erwin should appear there. Yes, now we'll wait till Erwin takes off.
Marseille du Air France 63 Delta Golf, on est en vue, on souhaiterait une approche à vue main droite pour la 31 droite.
La France 63 Delta Golf, c'est approuvé pour l'approche à vue 31 droite, rappel final, numéro 1.
Autorisé pour l'approche à vue 31 droite, on rappelle final numéro 1, Air France 63 Delta Golf. Merci.
Air France 0310, vous quittez mes espaces, veuillez uniquement 122, définal 8, bonne chance.
Alright, now is it time?
Marseille, bonsoir, Eurowings 1 Echo Victor, inbound boarding, level 180 down for 150.
Hello, standby, Air France 0310, Unicom 22 8, au revoir.
Unicom 122.8, merci pour le guidage 3030.
We have to wait.
1 Echo Victor, hello sir, vectoring RMP Alpha approach, runway 04 left, fly heading 190, descend level 110.
What is the vector for RMP Alpha approach for left, now 190, heading 190, correction, heading 190 down to 110 for Eurowings 1 Echo Victor.
What was the last request? I couldn't hear it.
Beauty 015, holding short Alpha 1.
Yep, that was same time.
Holding short Alpha 1.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh.
To traffic, sorry, my OR just crashed. Last station, say again. Who's ready for descent?
Transavia 290.
Transavia 290, contact Milano on 135.455, good night.
135.455, take the bike.
Milan Delta Foxtrot identified, climb, turn right, direct November Charlie, climb level 340.
November Charlie.
Direct to November Charlie and climb to flight level 340, big line 8 Delta Foxtrot.
Oh yeah, there is no
015, cross runway 04 left, taxi holding point 04 right, via Whiskey 3.
Cross runway 04 left, taxi holding point 04 right via Whiskey 3 Beauty 015.
Wizz Air 2185 requesting pushback and start.
Wizz Air 2185, push and start approved, facing west.
Push and start approved, facing west. Wizz Air 2185. Okay.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Delta 6700, alignez-vous piste 34, autorisé décollage, vent 270.
There is our pushback guy.
On s'aligne piste 34, Air France et autorisé décollage, Air France 60, Delta 6700, je vais y arriver.
In the meantime, hi for everybody who's joined and watching.
1 Echo Victor, descent 3006, QNH 1021.
Down to 3000 feet, QNH 1021, Eurowings, 1 Echo Victor.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
015, check your scope.
Setting squawk 0552, Beauty 015, sorry.
No worries, thank you. Beeline 8 Delta Foxtrot, direct to Irma.
Direct to Irma, Beeline 8 Delta
It's
Foxtrot.
nice if you get lots of directs, it's a lot of extra action. I like that.
French West 302, bienvenue à Ajaccio, roulez poste 8, via Tango.
So now you can see that our nose wheel is being great. That's why you can see things going a bit down above our dashboard.
Control, good evening, right now, 45 Yankee Juliet, inbound boarding and descending flight level 150.
Hello, stand by, French
Okay.
West 302, roulez poste 8, via Tango.
Poste 8 via Tango.
White Star
Okay, we can
45,
start
Yankee
engines,
Marseille,
ignition
hello,
goes
vectoring
on.
RNP Alpha approach, runway 04 left. Fly heading
And do a cooling
190,
also here
descent
goes
level
on.
110.
And then let's start with engine 2. And let's
Western 45 Yankee Juliet, expecting RMP Alpha, runway 04 left, heading 190 and down to flight level 110.
Beauty 015, reaching Whiskey 3, ready for departure.
So you can see on the Neo there is first the cooling cycle going before the start actually can commence.
Clear for takeoff 04 right, Beauty 015.
Eurowings 1 Echo Victor, turn right, heading 230.
Right 230, Eurowings 1 Echo Victor.
Bass is going to take off.
Piste 31 droite, autorisé atterrissage, vent 300 degrés, 11 nœuds.
Dans atterrissage 31 droite, Air France Delta Golf.
Alright, so engine 2 is starting.
Delta 6700, départ AQT 2 Romeo, piste 34, en montée, niveau 130, Delta 6700.
And Bass in the background. Okay, how's our engine going? Spooling up nicely.
Les blocs 302.
French West 302, vous pouvez quitter, bonne soirée, au revoir, bon week-end.
Allez, au revoir. Bon
Okay,
week-end à vous.
engine 2 is available, so starting engine 1. So now it doesn't have to do a cooling cycle because they went at the same time.
Set parking brake.
Where is Bass? Is he already taken off? Oh no, there is Bass.
White Star Yankee Juliet, continue descent level 70.
Down to level 70, White Star, 45 Yankee Juliet.
Wizz Air 2185, when ready, taxi holding point runway 04 left via Tango Alpha 1.
When ready, taxi holding point runway 04 left via Tango and Alpha 1, Wizz Air 2185. Okay, we are not yet ready, but getting there. Okay, so now engine 1 is also almost fully available. Engine 1 is available, good. Then we can put the engine mode selector back to normal. And dual cooling can go off. APU bleed can go off. Spoilers. And reset. Reset. Flaps 1. Flight controls. There is a trim down 02. Flaps takeoff, that pitch trim set, we don't need anti-ice, and then an APU master can also go off. And the doors are all armed and everything right. Just a quick check, doors are good, okay, and then quick after start checklist. After start, anti-ice is not required, ECAM status all green. We need to set the parking brake for our guy. Pitch trim is set, rudder trim is set 0. Okay.
Delta 6700, direct Pined. Et montée niveau 300. Direct Pined et on monte niveau 300, Delta 6700.
I'll disconnect. It's a very nice airplane, the Airbus A321neo, and I like the Wizz Air colors.
View 015 direct Irma, climb level 340.
Direct Irma, climb flight level 340, beauty 015. So disconnected and bypass Pined been removed.
West Yankee Juliet, turn right heading 220, descend 3000 feet, QNH 1021.
QNH 1021.
Heading 220, QNH 1021, no Alpha 45 Yankee Juliet.
Earrings 1 Echo Victor, proceed direct Bilbo, cleared RNP Alpha 04 left, number 1.
Okay, we can taxi lights, runway turn flights on, taxi lights on. And then we can roll. We start rolling, we do a parking brake check, parking brakes are available, then we check our flight controls. Full left, full right, full aft and full forward. Then we disconnected the nose wheel and do also rudder right, rudder left. So flight controls are full and free. We have already notified the cabin that we are going to take off very soon, so please take your positions. The brake is armed on maximum and our takeoff config is normal. So that's good. Then before takeoff, flight controls are checked, flight instrument checked and set. Briefing, we will after takeoff follow make a right turn almost immediately, and that almost immediately actually means that we'll do our right turn at 420 feet, and then we make our right turn, but we'll just follow the flight controls, the flight directors, and then back to our check. Flap setting is 1, takeoff data is set, transponder is set. When we enter the runway, we'll set it to on. But we can actually already set it to transponder, just not TA array. No, it should still be at standby, sorry, for VetSim, IVAO. There is no blue, so takeoff is fine.
2185, cross runway 04 left, taxi holding point 04 right via Whiskey 3.
Cross runway 04 left, taxi to holding point runway 04 right via Whiskey 3, Wizz Air 2185.
West Yankee Juliet, turn right heading 240.
Right heading 240, West for Yankee Juliet.
Okay, quick check which one is Whiskey 3. Okay, so we can cross the runway, but when crossing the runway, landing lights and transponder on, we will need to go to Whiskey 3. I need to check where Whiskey 3 is. Whiskey 3, okay, so we'll go Whiskey, so the second right on Whiskey to Whiskey 3. This is whiskey. Okay. Not so difficult. I think I have to close some things running in the background because I see some stuttering and that's not normal. Okay, browser is closed and Whiskey 3 is the last one, right? This is not Whiskey 3.
Vous pouvez quitter, bonne soirée, bon week-end.
Yes, that's Whiskey 3 is there. Already slowed down a bit.
Beeline 8 Delta Foxtrot leaving Aerospace, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Monitor Unicom 122.8, thanks for the ATC and have a nice evening. Bye-bye, Beeline 8 Delta Foxtrot.
You too, bye-bye. Wizz Air 2185, line up runway 04 right, clear for takeoff, wind 090 degrees, 06 knots.
Cleared for takeoff from runway 04 right, Wizz Air 2185. Okay, then strobe lights out to...
Alliance 337 Marseille, hello, direct Disco, maintain level 350.
Okay, direct Disco, flight level 350. Thank you.
Before takeoff checks complete, packs can stay on, TCAS is TRA, engine mode is normal, cabin is secure for takeoff.
Victor number 1, expect lake clearance.
Expect late clearance, your wings, 1 Echo, Victor.
White Star Yankee Juliet, direct Bisbo, cleared RNP Alpha 04 left, number 2.
Direct Bispo and number 2, White Star, Alpha Yankee Juliet.
Yankee Juliet, confirm you're cleared RNP Alpha 04 left.
We are cleared RNP Alpha 104 left, White Star, Alpha Yankee Juliet.
Alright, then this is good. Then the takeoff, I have control, chrono is started, first 50%. Okay, stable, man flex. Okay, let's stay in the center line. 80 knots.
Yankee Juliet, confirm the direct Bispo.
In a second, White Star, Alpha Yankee Juliet.
120 knots. 140 V1 rotate. Positive rate, gear up, lights. Spoiler. And above 410, turn to the right, we are still hand flying.
1 Echo Victor, runway 04 left, clear to land, wind 090 degrees, 09 knots.
Okay, there's going to be a lot of actions, so I'm going to already put the autopilot on.
White Star Yankee Juliet, when able, reduce speed 190, descend 3000 feet.
Down to 3000 feet and reducing 190 White Star.
Okay, back to climb, throttle. And as you can see, there's a 210 knots limit till the first turn. Okay, after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are not yet retracted, packs were already on.
Thank you, Juliet, you're still not direct Bispo at the moment, sir.
Okay, so we'll only remove the flaps after the turn because the safe speed is just above our speed limit.
White Star Yankee Juliet.
White Star, Alpha Yankee Juliet, yeah, sorry, we have a problem with our 767. Yeah, we are now turning into direct Bispo.
Do you prefer ILS approach here for left?
No, oh, this would be great, White Star, Alpha Yankee Juliet.
Yeah, you're too far away from Bispo now, so vectors ILS 04 left.
Another plane is
right,
landing.
heading 360. Clear the ILS 04 left, report established.
Right, heading 360, clear ILS 04 left, White Star, Alpha Yankee Juliet.
Wizz Air 2185, identified, turn right heading, correction, turn right direct November Charlie, climb level 280.
Turn right, direct to November Charlie, and climb flight level 280, Wizz Air 2185. Okay, we can let our climb commence as it does, and after the climb, okay, so we can also remove the flaps, so flaps up. And when the climb is getting complete, more or less, then we will go
turn right heading 02,
November Charlie.
Right heading 020 for intercept, right staff for heading Juliet.
Okay, we are already going November Charlie, so that's fine.
You're running during the Echo Victor. Welcome to Nice, taxi stands 48 Alpha via Tango Charlie.
Stand 48 Alpha via
And standard pressure is set, so now landing gear up, flaps retracted, backs are on, and barrow ref is set. So we are good with the checklist until our approach. Good, we can monitor our fuel consumption a bit later.
Centre, bonjour, ici EasyJet 55 Bravo Charlie à la porte 27, demandons mise en route pour LFLL, information D.
Ici 55 Bravo Charlie Marseille, bonsoir, mise en route approuvée, départ long sud 5 hôtel, niveau 100, transpondeur 52 76.
So, timer was started. Now it's getting a bit cold in the cockpit, so let's turn the heating a bit higher. Next action item will be...
Next
ici Bravo Charlie, vous avez copié?
EasyJet 55 Bravo Charlie, répétez.
Oui, alors je répète, ici Bravo Charlie, mise en route approuvée, départ long sud 5 hôtel, piste 20, niveau initial 100, transpondeur 52 76.
EasyJet 55 Bravo Charlie, départ long sud, niveau 100, transpondeur 52 76. Avec départ piste 22.
Alors, ce sera un départ piste 20 et le départ, je confirme, le site long sud 5 hôtel.
Alright, flight level 100, landing lights can go off and retracted, and then after the turn,
EasyJet 55 Bravo Charlie,
I will also
long sud 5 hôtel, piste 20. Excusez-moi.
turn off the seatbelt
C'est
signs.
correct, vous avez les cartes avec vous?
Very nice weather today.
Bravo Charlie, je vais regarder pour les cartes.
And people at our right
Ça peut être pratique pour vérifier le départ. Hein,
can see the airport. Nice view.
West Yankee Juliet, runway 04 left, clear to land, wind 090 degrees, 06 knots.
Clear to land, right base over left, White Star for Yankee Juliet.
I didn't want to click that.
2185, direct Irma.
Direct Irma, Wizz Air 2185. Irma, where is Irma? Direct Irma. And approved. Alright, good. The Alps are nice. It's probably the Mont Blanc over there.
Delta 6700, niveau 300 à 240 nautiques de Pinède, mais devons malheureusement quitter la fréquence.
Seatbelt signs.
C'est reçu, Delta
Also
6700, je vous laisse vous déconnecter, bonne soirée.
And soon, unfortunately...
Merci pour le contrôle et bonne soirée également. Delta 6700. Pour confirmation, Delta 6700, quand vous dites quitter la fréquence, voulez-vous déconnecter du réseau?
So soon, unfortunately...
Delta 6700. Merci, bonne soirée, au revoir. Beauty 015, leaving my airspace, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
Unicom 122.8 for Beauty 015, merci, au revoir.
And that was Buzz leaving the airspace.
Du 55, Bravo Charlie, transpondeur standby.
And Nice is
55 Bravo Charlie,
behind.
transpondeur standby.
Today actually we are using the Enhanced Skyscapes add-on for clouds and atmosphere. That's why the atmosphere looks much nicer than it used to be looking on my streams for X-Plane 11. I think it makes a huge difference in how X-Plane looks. So I can warm-heartedly recommend that as an add-on. Also don't need bright lights, dim lights are fine. Everything looks alright. That's easy in the Airbus. If nothing is lit, everything is good. Okay. At Irmar we should have...
Your wings, One Echo Victor is on block.
5.5 tons left.
You can lead the frequency.
Easily going to be fulfilled.
28 for your wings, One Echo Victor, you too, bye.
It's a pity that at the end it's only 3 of us flying to Charleroi, but that's of course more than nothing. And as soon as I leave this frequency, since there is no more coverage for the time being, I will also switch to our internal Unicom, and I can talk to the others and have a bit of a chat about how everybody is doing. It's a nice plane, huh? I like the big engines on the Neo. And hi Manu, thanks for joining for the stream. There is nothing special going on with me. I hope everything is fine with you too. Very soon we'll leave the controlled airspace and then I will chat a bit more with the others. And of course, for anybody who's watching, feel free to ask questions about flight simulators or training for a private pilot license, which is still going on, as you can see sometimes on my channel with videos.
West Star 45 Yankee Juliet, runway 0 for left, via Hotel 1.
West Star Yankee Juliet, welcome to Nice, taxi stand 50 Alpha via Uniform Charlie Tango.
Could you please repeat the stand for West Star 45 Yankee Juliet?
Stand 50 Alpha via Uniform Charlie Tango.
Stand 50 Alpha via Uniform Charlie Tango, West Star 45 Yankee Juliet.
And in the climb there is not much to do in the Airbus, so we are just monitoring systems. I have the failures as always set to real life frequency, so we don't really expect any failures to occur, but I can also show in the fault scenarios you can set how often you want your failures to happen. And I don't like to fly without the chance of failures, but I also don't want to make my life difficult on the flight simulator, so I just like to put random faults at the occurrence rate that matches the real life rate. So you don't really expect anything to happen, maybe once in a while something minor, but given how little total time we fly on the simulator, the chance of any actual fault is really minor. But I don't like to put it too high because I also don't want very unexpected things happen, especially on the stream and then deviation when we all want to make it to Charleroi. But I still like the option of having that slight chance of faults, not knowing that whatever you do, nothing's going to go bad. That's my mindset about faults. And we don't really need a weather radar, but so my setup, it's nothing standard Airbus of course, and because I'm flying alone this plane, which is normally flown with 2 people, but I like to have the map here, and here the nav screen with the TCAS better displayed, because of course on this screen you cannot really see much behind you. I mean, some things are displayed, so if there's an aircraft close by behind you, it's still displayed. But I like to have this display show more like an around view of the plane. And also when I turn the weather radar on, I like to have the radar here and the Terran on the left, so I can see everything. Is there anything we need to do? Nothing really. We are going to leave the airspace at Irmar, so that's when we are expected to be handed over to Unicom. Since there is no other frequency, it would be really nice if there was somebody at the Belgian airspace when we arrive. I'm going to try to chat that on the Discord of IVAO, the Belgian division, the Belux division. Sorry about our Luxembourg brothers, I didn't want to exclude them. Because somebody said that maybe they could take at least tower, but it would be really nice if somebody was also at the control on the country level. So I'm going to write a message there in the meantime.
EasyJet 55 Bravo Charlie, demandons repoussage.
Easy 55 Bravo Charlie, repoussage approuvé, face nord.
Autorisé repoussage face nord,
message is sent.
55 Bravo Charlie.
Wizz Air 2185, leaving Space, monitor Unicom 122.8. Bye-bye.
Unicom 122.8, thank you for the service and have a nice evening. Bye-bye, Wizz Air 2185. Okay.
West Yankee Juliet, monitor Unicom, you can actually leave the frequency. Bye-bye, have a nice evening.
And we are back to Unicom 122.8, and then I can also unmute myself. Undeafen. Alright, hello guys, I'm also back to Unicom. Everybody's having a safe flight by now?
Yes.
For now, yes.
Very good. I see that there is no further ATC for now. But let's hope maybe somebody's gonna come online in Belgium. Would be nice to get vectors to Charleroi. But we'll see.
Indeed. What is the runway that you will be landing on?
Well, I suppose 24, but I'm going to check the actual real-life runway use in a second and report back.
Runway 24 could provide us with a straight-in.
Yeah, that was my goal, but I saw that there was very crosswind, but very little, so I assume that 24 is used, but I'm just going to check the 80s in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was also suggesting the straight-in arrival procedure and not flying above Brussels. Okay, so 80s, let's check the 80s online. So that I cannot really show now. But we are going to go to the Belgian site where I can check the 80s. I managed to apply my links. In the meantime, we are arriving to cruise altitude, so you can see that the alt star is now capturing the altitude, and then it will switch to alt cruise, so cruise altitude. Okay, so we want the pre-flight information. It is Charleroi, and then I have to log in. And then Charleroi 80s, runway 24. Okay, so I just checked the 80s, and indeed runway 24 is active in Charleroi. With the runway surface conditions, good, so 666, so that's the best. Transition level is 045, wind is 190 degrees, 3 knots, variable between 160 and 220, visibility above 10 km with clouds broken at 4,700 feet, temperature 11, dew point 7, QNH 1027 and no significant weather. Confirm 80s Juliet in real world, in the sim I don't know.
Thank you.
Okay. Is this information available on internet, or is this professional related information maybe?
It is professional related information, but it is available if you register a free account. So you can go to the website of Skies, so Sierra Kilo Echo Yankee Echo Sierra.be, and then you can go to, so it's the operation services or just services, and then you can see these AIP, the METO information, pre-flight information, and so on links. And then if you click on one of these, then you can go until one point, and then at one point it asks a login and a password. But you can register as a free account. Just in the comments field when you register, you can say for flight simulator purposes, and it's perfectly fine. They will approve it. It's manually approved, so it will take probably a day, but they will probably approve it. And then you can see the ATIS information real time for all the Belgian airports. I think that's a very useful thing. You can also get weather briefings, and there are some flight planning tools, and all these things are available if you register.
Okay, yeah, okay. So a straight in, not a straight in approach on Charleroi.
That's an A firm, and then that means that our approach would be, I'm checking, the Body 5 Bravo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I can just see in front of me the massif of the Mont Blanc. Pretty impressive. So that's the Mont Blanc, not what I said earlier. That's definitely the Mont Blanc. There is one tiny issue with this enhanced skyscape add-on, but there are some very minor issues. But the guy who is developing it is supposed to be releasing an update this weekend, and these issues are supposed to be fixed over the weekend or in this update. And this small issue is that, for example, in how explain
this
renders.
Morning there was someone on the Discord server of IVAO Belux that said that he was going to take tower, or was able to take tower.
Yes, indeed, I've seen that, and I also wrote just now a message to the IVAO Discord to say that if somebody would be on the frequencies, that would be great, but we'll see. It was Dennis who said that he could take tower position if I want. But I hope that meant that I don't have to say that we would like that, but we'll see. So what I was saying about the...
Well, he's currently streaming Flight Simulator in the Discord server, so...
Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll see. For
Sure,
a straight-in approach... Yeah. Anyway. I will just have to remember, because I always forget that lately whenever I stream, which of course doesn't happen very often. We show the replay at the end, because I always forget that.
The replay seems to be the most important part of the stream.
Yeah, also like when you fly for yourself, right? I mean, you land and then you want to see how good or bad your replay was.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like all this effort of online flying, and you are just interested in that 5 second.
Of the flare and the touchdown.
And then you're always like, nah, floated it, or it was too hard. So I also heard Manu, you said that on Sunday you might be flying in front of me, so that's looking forward to that.
EBCI intercom, so you might be coming.
Good. So the ATC intercom is also on our Belux Discord server, where people usually go when they are going to control. And now it's Romain and Dennis, so maybe Romain will take the FIR, the Brussels control, and Dennis maybe then the tower would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice because you would get vectored around then.
Indeed, I love vectors. Wow, this is a very nice site with the Mont Blanc, and I guess that might be then the Matterhorn there, maybe? I would think so.
Ligt het meer van Genève, the lake of Geneva behind you, Bas?
At Vannas.
So it seems.
Vannas 5.5. Remaining, I think we are very good with fuel.
I also missed it. I mean, the Mont Blanc.
Oh yeah, 5.2.
I had in sight, but the Lake of Geneva.
I'm flying in the dark, so I see a big dark spot behind me.
Yeah.
That's probably the lake.
Hi Hank, indeed very nice mountains. That was one of the reasons I chose flying from Nice, because I always like to fly above the Alps or the Pyrenees, because then at least you see something. Of course, I also wanted to showcase how nice the clouds on this enhanced skyscapes is, and then there is 0 clouds today, so that's a bit of a pity, but yeah. So we are just above the Mont Blanc. Yeah, so here is the Mont Blanc Massif. I think we'll make a screenshot here. Alright. I am just on top of the Mont Blanc. I mean, there is a bit of separation between the plane and the top of the Mont Blanc, but vertically above.
Yeah, I see it on your stream. You're flying daytime conditions, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's nice, huh? This enhanced skyscapes really makes the view much nicer. I mean, the atmospheric rendering really becomes... It's such a small change, you would think, because the ground textures, I mean, I still don't have orthos here, and nothing special, just the atmospheric rendering, and it makes such a huge difference.
I need to get myself that add-on.
Yeah, and it's not expensive. It's only 15 euros.
And not hard on frames?
Well, you have almost the same system as I have. You just have one newer processor, I think. So you should have the same performance as I have. I set my settings, so even when I have multiple cloud layers, it's above 30 in the Zibo in the Airbus. So I put the resolution of the clouds a bit lower, and I can only do FXAA anti-aliasing, because if I go higher than in big airports, it gets a bit heavy. But so otherwise, it's perfectly fine. So I think it's good. You shouldn't be worried about the performance. So if you use the same settings, for example, what I do, then perfectly fine. And you can see in clear sky I could go even higher in the settings, but I like to use settings when in the worst conditions still things are fine. But right now I am at a 74 frame per second, but that means that I could go much higher in the settings for now. But if there is like 2 cloud layers, dense cloud layers, then of course it gets worse.
Yes, it's the clouds, that's the frame colors.
But I think it's really worth it, because for me, just the atmospheric rendering already makes me feel that I'm not bothered about flying in the X-plane anymore. Because I had like this period, like at the beginning of the year, when I really was a bit sad about the difference in graphics between X-plane and the flight simulator. And then I flew a lot in flight simulator, but I'm so happy to be flying with the Toliss again. And of course I have a Charleroi only in X-plane, so that's a big difference. But yeah, I think it's a very nice plugin.
Yeah, I think the Microsoft Flight Simulator is still too much trouble to fly with.
Yeah, if not for VFR, then it's not worth. The IFR big planes are not yet there.
I haven't started that sim in ages. I think I own it for over a year now. I might only have used it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
there's always something that just doesn't work.
Yeah, in the past months I also had this issue, I think from at like a Word update 5 or something. I probably told you about this on one of the last streams, that I constantly got crashes to desktop after that update. Before that update I had never had an issue. And then the next 2 updates I got crashes to desktop all the time. Now a few days ago there was again an update, I think software update 6, the name of it. And I downloaded that, and it seems like I loaded into Ostend with a Warrior, and that was it. But normally when I load in and out of a flight or just zoom in and out of the map, I got crashes. And now everything seemed to be fine. So it seems to be stable. But now again happy with the X-plane, so Microsoft Flight Simulator is just sitting there waiting for its bright future somewhere in the future, but
in 5 years' time.
Yeah, who knows? At least now we own it, so we don't have to pay for it in the future, right? Think of it as an investment. But on Monday, the Airbus A340 is coming from Toliss, which looked nice in the previews. It's really not the kind of plane I usually fly because, of course, it's more of a longer, yeah. But oh yeah, I might get it because it would be also the perfect plane to take off from the extended runway of Charleroi, of course, or land heavy. But that for landing it doesn't make a difference because, of course, in that direction the available landing distance is still the same. But from 06, the landing distance, the available distance got much longer because of the extension, of course. Yeah, so I'm very thinking about getting it, but I was not really planning on getting it because I'm really waiting for the Dash 8, so the Q400 to come out from Flight Sim, and it's also going to be released probably around Halloween. So maybe I will force myself to for 1 week not do anything and not buy anything, because if I have to choose between those two planes and I want to fly with the Q400 and I really want to fly with that, so I'm really looking forward to that.
We all know you are going to end up with all the aircraft.
Probably. But it also depends if on Friday and because my next flight, I haven't gotten a flight training in the last 2 weeks because once weather cancellation, once an airplane was not available. So I have 2 trainings booked for Friday and Sunday. So if those go through, I have plenty of things to do. But if they get cancelled, then I will have to fly, clearly. So then we will see. But I will not buy anything till Friday, I've decided, because I also don't have much time during the week anyway. Well, I'm just above the lake now of Geneva, and the bigger part of the higher parts of the Alps are being left behind.
And we have tower in Charleroi.
Very good. Now just Brussels control, come on.
Yeah, Brussels control would be nice. The French ATC does what it usually does when we fly, not come online. Whenever I look on WebEye, there's always French ATC available almost all over the place, and whenever we fly, there's like 1 ATC if we're lucky.
This is so true. Like yesterday I was looking and there was everywhere ATC in France, but literally everywhere.
Yeah, I did a flight yesterday from Orly to Frankfurt, and yeah, there was definitely in Frankfurt there was some popcorn, not from my side, but there was an emergency, so all the runways had to be available for that emergency. So it was just final 4 miles, and then I got the instructions, go around, we have an emergency. That was nice, it was nice.
Yeah, it's always cool if something unexpected happens. Except if you have to run somewhere and you only have that 5 minutes to land and then things get delayed.
So you received your portion of popcorn yesterday?
Yes, I did. And on the taxiway, okay, I took the wrong direction, but that was actually the only thing that went not as expected.
Well, that's actually what we expect you to do on the Popcorn Unicom. That's to get lost from time to time on an airport, so you did well.
Okay.
The funny thing is that I actually wanted to fly today from Madrid, especially for that reason, so we can have some popcorn and the taxiing. I know that Sebastian likes that.
Sure, yes.
And then
but I'm not allowed to go to Madrid anymore.
And then, so yesterday I purchased the Airbus of Madrid because I wanted to have the nice scenery in any case. That's the second or third most visited airport in real life that I've flown to, because for work I flew a lot for Canaries to the Canaries, and I always had to switch in Madrid. So I've never been to Madrid itself, the city, but I've been to the airport like 20 plus times. So I purchased it on the X-Plane store and downloaded it, and half of the scenery is not in the package. Because it's an Airbus of scenery, there is also a custom mesh, and the custom mesh is not in the package. So I wrote to the shop, hello guys, something went wrong. Because I guess really something went wrong, because just the day before yesterday a new version of the scenery was released. So I guess the store packed it incorrectly and part of the scenery is missing. So I'm waiting for a reply, but it's clearly, because even in the manual it says there is two folders, the airport folder and the mesh folder, like very often with arrows of sceneries. And in the zip archive, it's only the airport. So it's like, hello. So that's why we are flying from Nice and not from Madrid.
Which is perfectly fine for me.
Yeah, for me too. But the only reason I wanted to fly from Madrid, because I was actually looking forward to flying from a scenery that would be new. I sometimes like to buy a scenery just for like a special reason. And it's been a while since I bought something, so I thought, okay, time. But no, so it didn't work out. And then we would have flown over the Pyrenees. So I always like to fly above a mountain range. So today it was the Alps, but then it would have been the Pyrenees. And then I also was looking at the flying from Salzburg, but I couldn't get a valid route. I spent like half an hour trying to get a valid route. I didn't manage. So that's the story why it became Nice. But it's still nice.
The routes you get from Simbrief more often are not valid than valid.
Yeah, but I think like these were like very difficult. There were clearly some time restrictions on the routes, because I like, if it's not valid, then I check why it's not valid. Maybe I can manually correct it. But there were like some very difficult why it was not valid and it was not clear. But like we've already heard that it's very difficult sometimes to create a valid route. So it shouldn't be expected of simmers to always fly with exactly valid routes. So whatever. But yeah, since I know about this route validation check, I always check it, and then you prefer to have a valid route in any case.
Yeah, that's true. However, I do think that the IVAO ATC doesn't really check route validity.
No, of course not, because to check it, they would have to copy paste all the flight plans into the same tool, and I mean, if you have only one plane at your airport, then you could do it, but on a busy airport, it's impossible.
And they would have to refuse the flight plan of like 75% of all flights.
Exactly, that wouldn't make much sense. I wanted to ask, Bas, have you managed to fly in real life lately?
Yes. Very recently, like 2 weeks ago, I went to Berck. It's just south of Le Touquet. It's a small grass strip, 900 meters, and it was fun. There was absolutely no one except a couple of young people receiving class about aerodynamics. But yeah, so recently I flew with a couple of other pilots to Berck.
Very nice, very nice.
And so the funny part is, if you go to Le Touquet, you pay, I don't remember exactly, but it's like 40 euros for landing fee. And then if you go just a couple of kilometers south, you go to Berck, where you pay no landing fees. And if you want to have a Coke or a Fanta, you pay €1.
Yeah. It's very different depending on which airport you go to.
Yes.
Like I know that lots of the flight instructors at our school prefer to go to Maubeuge, especially for that reason, because there is no landing free.
Uh-huh.
And then last time I asked to fly to Middle Zealand, of course, and then I had to pay the 22.5 euros of landing
Yes.
fee, but it was still worth it, so no worries about that. But
And you
I'd
got your
rather.
card.
Sorry?
You got your card where if you fly 10 times, then you get 1 time for free or
Oh
not?
no, is there a card like that there?
Well, the one time I went there, but it's like 5 years ago, there was a card.
Oh, no, I didn't get it. But that's definitely an airport where I would like to go back when I have my license. And then have something nice on the terrace. Because it's so annoying now. I'm flying to all these airports in the training and there are all these nice restaurants there and there is never time to sit on the restaurant. And I want to sit in the restaurant. Except for the one time when we got rained in an Maubeuge and then we had a coffee with my instructor.
It happens. A while ago, I went to the Dutch aerodrome of Seppe, which is just north of Braschaat and Antwerp.
Yeah, you had a video about that, right? Like when you didn't have the video, the front camera like died, so you only had like a side view on the landing. Yeah.
Yes, I forgot to switch the camera back on.
That's okay.
Upon landing, but it was very busy. We were not allowed in the Antwerp CTR. And then we had to make sure we stayed away from that CTR, and then there was paradrop activity at Hoevenen.
Yeah.
We had to be careful for Braschaat, and then we were almost already at the border, and we had to check for the destination aerodrome with a quite tight circuit, and noise abatement procedures also that should be adhered to. And so I completely forgot to switch on the front camera. I was busy flying.
Yeah, the flying is the first. That's why I like to fly with the...
But it's a nice airfield.
Yeah, flying is the first in any case, so I understand that things can get forgotten. I also like forget to start the login Sky Demon when we were coming back from New Zealand, because I was for the navigation flying with Sky Demon turned outside, so I cannot see the screen, but only the map. But for logging, I still like to have it. And then I forgot to press start. I can see it on the video that I opened the Sky Demon screen, and then I know that that's the moment when I wanted to press start, and then my instructor said something, so I just didn't press start. I just put in Sky Demon outside, facing outside, thinking that it started, and then it was not, but whatever. But with the camera, I like with my camera setup that I have the GoPro connected to an external battery, so I don't have to bother about the battery. So I just start it before we even start the engine, and then I only touch it after we landed. And then of course I record a lot, but I have a memory card in which can take 4.5 hours of recording in 4K. So then I don't have to...
That's more than enough.
Yeah, and then you don't even have to think about the whole thing. I just put in my checklist with an alcoholic pen, you know, like I added an extra line in my checklist in the before engine start checklist: GoPro running, voice recording running, Sky Demon running. So that's it, and then you don't have to touch anything. But of course, if you have multiple cameras, then it gets a bit more complicated. But I can think about that when I have my PPL.
Okay, I'm not sure Brussels control will be coming online. I think I'm going to modify my route now to make a straight in.
Yep, via 5 Bravo.
Yeah.
Alright, so we can also prepare some charts here while there is nothing to do. Let's do a quick fuel check. We just passed... what was this? Ixilu? Yeah, Ixilu. Just past Ixilu, we have 4.6 tons remaining. and based on the plan we should have 4.4, so we are good with fuel. Was not sitting correctly, so we are good with the fuel. Let's prepare our charts, so we don't need this anymore. We can prepare charts for Charleroi. Sorry, Echo Bravo Charlie India. And then, in order of usefulness, we need our arrival procedure, which is going to be the Bati 5 Bravo, if I remember correctly. Bati and 5 Bravos will do straight in. And then our approach is going to be an ILS runway 24, just a normal, not a cut 3, because visibility is perfectly fine. And then from there, not that I don't know it by heart, but we'll need our airport charts, where we need the normal airport. And then for the taxi, also the parking stands, but not on the P1 and 5, but on the northern apron, which is the P10, Papa 10 to Papa 15. And here you can already see the extended runway. So earlier the runway was still N5, and now there is an extended runway, but the threshold is still at N5, and the connection between M6 and the M7 and M6 and the runway is not yet in use. But we will still land where we used to land and then come back on the long way, the taxi. Our top of descent is, and this should be on the progress and performance, is still 100 nautical miles, so in 40 nautical miles we'll start our preparation for the descent. What we can already do now is, for example, in the progress here, we can put in Echo Bravo Charlie India 24, and then we can see that our, as the crow flies, distance still 150 nautical miles. And actually in the report here you can see what flight level, what times you expect to be for the next waypoints, and of course the arrival, how much fuel on board is now and is expected to be when you land. But you don't really need anything else. We can put in an extended runway just for the fun of it, to display it on the map, because we have so much time, and then I can show some extra things. The runway heading is 244. Then we go back to the flight plan page, here click fix info, and then our reference is the runway itself, so Echo Bravo Charlie India 24. And then we can do a radial 244, so we want to the other direction, so that's 064, 064. And we can also, so that's one thing. And then you can, here you can already see the runway axis displayed. And then what else we can do, of course not necessary at all, to, for example, put on a radius where we will have to descend, so that's 7.6 from 8.7 from B, if you want. So we could put that radius in here, but I'm not going to do that now because it's really not necessary. Okay, so this goes back to performance, 93 nautical miles to the top of descent. And then just a quick look at the procedure. So arrival is very straightforward. We fly Bati, Lolhi, and then we are already in the runway axis. 25 nautical miles from Gosseli, we need to be below flight level 70. And just a quick look if all these things are also programmed nicely in here. So indeed, at Lolhi we are going to be at flight level 73. At this waypoint we are going to be already at flight level 60. You can see here that we need to be below flight level 070, so that is going to be met. That's good. And then we will do a straight in approach. At 3,000 feet we will capture the glide slope. So here at 3,000 feet at the Charlie India, so the final approach fixed 24. This Charlie India is for outside, and the final approach is where we start going down at a 3% 3% slope. That's a very standard ILS. We can, as preparation, already put in the ILS. Is the ILS display, so you can see already we are tuned to the ILS of Charleroi. So if you go to the radar frequencies, you can see India Golf Charlie, India Golf Charlie 110.9, 110.9, and 3-degree slope. And this course is sometimes a degree off, but that's normal with the enough data we have. So that's very straightforward, straight in approach. Normally it would be probably vectored already from earlier, so they wouldn't fly us straight to Bati, but since there is no... there is Brussels approach online. Brussels arrival. Brussels arrival is online. Did I?
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. So that's we can prepare some frequencies. So Brussels arrival is 118.255, 118.255, and then we might still get vectored. Very nice. 118.255. So we are already prepared there. Performance. We don't have to do anything yet, but now here already it says enter destination data, so we'll do that very soon. But so there is a very straightforward ILS approach. The runway threshold is just around 600 feet, just a bit below 600 feet. After landing, we'll vacate to the right. And is there anything else? There is no special speed restrictions, just 250 below 10, flight level 100. And the QNH at Charleroi in the sim is 1027. We're going to make a note of that. 1027. 1027. Right. You cannot prepare that here, right? That's a bit of a pity. Like in the CJ4, you can prepare that in advance. Would be also nice to have there. Now we are going to make a bit of a zoom in here. So the top of descent is just outside 60 nautical miles. So let's prepare things and put here a checklist. No, cards, checklist approach. So if we have done a briefing, we'll set things up. So enter destination data. As the destination data goes in here. And then, as we already said, QNH was 1027, but we can read in everything from here. So refresh 1027, 1027. The temperature is 11 degrees, it's coldish. The wind is 1504 knots, 1504 knots, so that's 4 knots straight left crosswind. The pressure level was 045, as we remember from the real life 80s. And then for a normal Cut 1 approach, the altitude is 776. 776. That's a burrow. 776. We'll do a normal full flap landing because of it very minor. Then the approach speed is going to be 147. So that's the only extra thing we can do is put the winds in. Not the step altitude, sorry, access wind data, and then we can already do a wind request from the sim. We don't have to do it manually. Otherwise, if you would have to do it manually, then you can go to your briefing from SimBrief, come to the weather data, and here you have the descent wind, and then you can put them in as they are listed there. But of course, if you get them from the simulator, then it's much easier. And then when all the winds are set and everything, and when the route is confirmed, and you can check your fuel prediction, and we can see there is plenty of extra time available. After our alternate airport, we would still have almost an hour extra fuel. I think we are cruising a bit more efficient than predicted. Maybe this profile for the Neo in the SimBrief not as precise as it should be. Actually, these are already the cooling towers visible from Luxembourg, so we are going to be soon arriving over Luxembourg. And indeed, the Gerich, if I put here the airports on, then you can see here is Luxembourg, so Echo Lima Lima X-ray is just 35-ish nautical miles from here. But we'll put those off and constraints back on. And zoom a bit out. Okay, good. And then go back to the checklist. Is there anything else? Yes. So before we starting our descent, things we still have to do is we just have an auto brake low. Nothing more serious is necessary. So the landing elevation is auto, is set, flight on arrival is all put in, descent winds are put in, frequencies are correct, progress page, we filled in the runway, that's good. We filled in the performance approach page, we checked the remaining fuel prediction is good. We don't need a secondary flight plan to be prepared because we'll definitely be able to land here. And then we do full flaps, so that's okay. Auto brakes low, and we don't need anti-ice. So the descent preparation is complete. That's to an approach checklist is not that necessary because we are not yet on approach. We will do that just for approach. So that's all good. We are prepared. We can go back here, and we have prepared the frequency of approach. That's going to be 118255. That's already here, good. And then the next frequency is going to be tower, and the tower is 121.305 if I remember correctly. We're going to check that. 121305 indeed. 1305 going to be tower. So that's good. We are going to descend in performance, sorry, in 35 nautical miles. And that is also an explained problem that sometimes the furthest Terran tile is not loaded in for a while. That should be corrected in the future. I hope in explain 12 these issues are not going to be there anymore. Because it's always annoying to see like a tile that's not loading in time, and then you see a big hole basically in the Terran. But okay. So this landing airport elevation is automatic. Everything is looking good on top and below. I already set the transponder here to display more traffic below us than above us. And yeah, there is nothing else. I will put the marker volume lower because I remember when landing that's always way too loud in the standard setting. Okay. And I guess we should contact Brussels arrival in time, so we give them some chance of vectoring us. And for Charleroi, yes, they have Charleroi in the 80s of Brussels arrival on the IVAO network. They have expect ILS approach for runway 24. We need to confirm 80s information Bravo on initial contact. So we'll do that. Bravo, if it doesn't change before that to Charlie. And again, hello for everybody who just joined us. I see that now there is a bit more people watching. So welcome. And this is again so annoying, these not loading tiles. But okay, that's something we have to live with. Of course, if the visibility was a bit lower, that would be less prominent. And I also have the feeling this has something to do that here I have a lot of sceneries. Maybe I should remove the scenery of Luxembourg and Brussels when I'm flying to Charleroi, and that would help in loading the tiles in. But okay, so we should actually see Luxembourg below. Yeah, just overhead Luxembourg, as I said. The airport and the city. So the center of Luxembourg is actually just somewhere here, one of these like peninsulas or like curves in the river. Or maybe this one. Yeah, it might be this one. It's more logical. Okay, the tiles have loaded in the meantime. See, that's why it's annoying that when it loads in everything is fine. But okay. Our top of descent is in 10 nautical miles. So we'll set an initial altitude. I will already set an altitude of 3000 because that would be the ILS. Before the ILS, Then if Brussels arrival tells us something else, then we'll do something else. Then quickly in Auto Unicom I'm going to say something, that we are top of descent. Auto Unicom arrival, runway 24, top of descent, leaving flight level 280, runway 24, approach ILS. And that's okay. And we are 6 nautical miles, so let's send the Auto Unicom message. And at 5 we can start our descent, just a bit earlier, so we can catch our profile. So top of descent, we have started, we are going to descent mode. And then let's have the approach chart, the arrival chart, sorry. And anything else? I think everything is alright. The next action item is going to be at flight level 100, when we will put on the seatbelt signs and also put on the landing lights. Descent checklist. That's completed. We started the descent. Don't need speed brakes. Yes, so during the descent we switch to the progress. And then you can see that the vertical deviation from the profile is 600 feet and decreasing. There is some deviation because we started our descent a bit before the calculated top of descent, but the flight computer will catch up, so we'll capture the recalculated profile. When we are on profile, you will see that our vertical speed will get a bit higher. Now we go to idle, and then we are capturing the profile, and you can see that our vertical speed goes to a bit more. So initially it was 1,200 feet per minute, and now we are down to almost 2,000 feet per minute. Okay, so this is where we monitor our descent. And is there anything else? No, we have the progress descent and the flight plan on the 2 MCDUs. The terrain is on, although for Charleroi terrain is not very important because yeah, it's more or less flat. There are some small hills, but nothing that would be of importance during the approach or the arrival. And then indeed the next action items are at 10,000 feet for flight level 100 here. Landing lights on and then seatbelt signs on. Also the seatbelt signs we'll put on before we make our turn at Bati, so I don't know exactly at what altitude we are going to be at Bati, but in any case, for a turn like that, I already want the seatbelt signs on, so Bati is going to be at flight level 130, so we'll put seatbelt signs at flight level 150 already. And it's gonna be pretty much landing into the sunset, so you'll not see much, but that's how life is. And I see that our first flight is already almost landing in Charleroi. That's nice. So Erwin is about to land. And then let's go back and monitor what we need to monitor. And Bass is definitely being vectored because he's on a bit different track. So soon I'm also going to contact Brussels arrival. Like before Bati already maybe. Just that they can do things with us before we actually go straight from Bati to intercepting the localizer. Because of course if Brussels control was online, they could have already vectored us to somewhere else. Or give us a proper descent altitude. But that's it, sometimes you don't have ATC. Well, most of the times actually you don't have ATC, unfortunately, on the network, but still. And then you will see we will arrive to my Charleroi scenery, my my favorite scenery. It's not a perfect scenery, good scenery, it's not perfect, nothing is perfect in life. And I hope everybody is going to enjoy the view for the landing. And then of course after landing, when we reach our stand, we'll also do a replay. So we have already already prepared. The QNH is going to be 1027. It's still information Bravo at the Brussels arrival. Checking that. And WebEye is again very slow today. Sometimes. Okay, now it's information Charlie and it's still expect ILS 24, so that's good. But information Charlie is valid. But maybe I should already contact them. Yeah, I'm already going to contact them. Then I can prepare here a 121.305 for
correction, please can 357 taxi holding point runway 25 right via inners and Bravo 1, QNH 1027.
QNH 1027 via Bravo 1, 35.
What is this Brussels arrival, right? Yes. Brussels arrival, Wizz Air 2185, good evening. We are on our descent towards Charleroi inbound Bati, crossing flight level 170.
Wizz Air 2185, posted approach hello identified, turn left heading 280 and descent level 60, expect vector ILS 24.
Turn left heading 280, descent flight level 60 and expecting vectors for ILS 24 with Air 2185. Alright, heading 280 and descent to flight level 60. Okay, and I think we should be going down a bit more steep than this. Okay, so let's put on seatbelt signs, because at this speed we are not going to make our no, then we will make it. Okay, because here we should be at flight level 70, so if we are there at 60, that's good, so that's fine.
5015, continue descent 3000 feet on the correction QNH 1027, heading 270, cleared LS runway 24.
Descend altitude 3000 feet, QNH 1027, heading 270 and cleared for the ILS 24, duty 015.
Okay, things we shouldn't forget is arming the approach phase. Then we start our approach.
3185, continue left turn heading 270.
Left turn 270 with Air 285. Okay. I would have been comfortable with the 2802, but okay.
5015 on speed.
And we should also slow down to 250 when we cross.
Main point, you're running 25 right.
Please can 357, wind 160 degrees 5 knots, runway 25 right, give takeoff.
Clear takeoff, 357.
Just over Liège.
PT015, confirm you copied, speed restrictions are cancelled.
Roger, speed restrictions cancelled, duty 015.
Okay, but now we need to slow down a bit before we go lower. And we'll do that by leveling off for a second. Not really leveling off, but go much less steep. And then our speed can drop 250. And let's do that a bit faster with speed brakes, otherwise we'll never make it down. Okay, but then we can go further. Not have to go down that fast. Oh yeah, but there we should be already at 3000, so we expect some more time necessary for going down an extra 3000 feet. Because there at that's the final approach, the final approach fix, we want to be there at 3000 already. So now we're at 10, if we are here at 6, then there should be enough time to go down to 3 afterwards. Okay, okay.
This can 357, plus 6 approach identified, passing 2000 feet, continuing climb level 70.
Lights on, spoilers back. Let's start.
Climb 170-357.
357 confirms 070.
Okay, we need to go less steep and then maybe a bit more of the speed brakes.
5005, contact tower on 121-305, bye.
Beauty 015, fully established ILS 24.
Beauty 015, yeah, contact tower on 121-305, bye bye.
Tower on 121.305 for Beauty 015, thank you, bye bye.
Okay, speed is good.
Scan 357 for further climb to Unicom at 2.8, bye bye.
Green dot speed.
Confirm it, 357.
AFM, blue scan 357, switch Unicom at 2.8, bye bye.
Passing contact to the bye bye. Very good control.
Okay, we need further clearance to 3000, hopefully soon, and then maybe a clearance for the ILS. That should come very soon. They're in the cloud. Almost at 6000 feet, slowly slowing down. Okay, 6000. Can go back because we are leveling up. 220. I don't want to go too fast for everything. Okay, leveling off at 6000. Okay, but now we should really get a clearance to go down to 3000. Otherwise, we are not gonna make it. Okay, left swap.
Wizz Air 2185, and left heading 260.
Left heading 260, Wizz Air 285. And altitude. Come on. Need to drop till 3000 feet.
And Wizz Air 2185, descend 3000 feet, QNH 1027, on heading 260, clear LS runway 24.
Descend to 3000 feet. Clear ILS 24, Wizz Air 185. Okay, that's good. Now we are just below the diamond, so it's going to be a very, very narrow capture. Because normally I should only arm the approach at 3000. But okay, the tower frequency is there. We can go to 1027. That's local QNH. A quick checklist. Approach briefing is confirmed. Recon status checked. Seatbelt signs are on. Barrow is set. Barrow is Barrow is set, and the engine mode selector is as required, so that's fine. Let's more. Let's go approach. And activate also the approach phase, confirm approach phase. Can slow down a bit more. I don't want to slow down fully yet. Glide slope is armed. Okay, glide slope is localized and is being captured for the. And then when the glide slope is captured, and then when localizer is captured, then we can report that established on the ILS. And then let's go manage speed. And then since approach mode is already active, should soon start dropping our speed. Wizz Air 2185 established on the localizer ILS 24.
Wizz Air 2185, perfect. Contact tower 121.305, bye bye.
Tower 121.305. Wizz Air 2185, thanks, bye bye. Charleroi Tower, Wizz Air 2185, good evening. We are established on the ILS 24.
Wizz Air 2185, good evening. Runway 24, wind calm, clear to land.
Runway 24, clear to land.
2500.
Wizz Air 2185. Okay, so the approach phase is active. Why aren't we dropping our speed? Why are we not losing speed on idle? Okay. Then let's go speed brake. We have not slowed down enough. We can already put on out the gears. Extension below 250. So let's do that. That will help. Let's tell the cabin we are coming. And then the gears, then the runway, turn off lights, and the nose lights can also go. Flaps 2 can go. Okay, runway in sight. That's a very late preparation, but okay, it's gonna be fine. Go around altitude is 3000, so that's set. Flaps almost full. Okay, spoilers armed. Flaps full.
1000.
Cabin secured. Auto throttle. Go around altitude. ICAM memo. No blue. Landing. Okay. Then let's land. And hi, Tankion Ling game. Oh, sorry, Tankion Line game. Hi. Welcome for a landing.
5 on the blocks, stand 52 switching off. Thank you for the service. Bye bye.
Good evening, GT105015.
Okay, we go from here manual. Bit more to the right. Bit lower.
300. 100 above. 200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard,
Oof. Damn it. Yeah, that was not good. Ay. I started the flare way too late. It's very tricky in Charleroi because it's an upslope. Well, that was really not the kind of landing I wanted to stream. Well, things happen. Okay, I have the brakes. Also, I got quite a lot of stutters. I don't know how visible that is in the stream, but yeah, that was not nice. Sorry about that. Let's vacate to the right. Yeah, I have lots of legs. I don't know why. Okay, we just go past the line and then we can report runway vacated. In the meantime, flaps up, spoilers, and the APU lights. Okay, taxi, APU start, Roam is on auto, and that.
Well, that was hard.
Wizz Air 2185 runway vacated.
How do you mean?
Wizz Air 2185, taxi November, Mike 4, stand 53.
Taxi via November, Mike 4 to stand 53, Wizz Air 2185. Yes, that was a freakishly hard landing, sorry about that.
No worries, I wasn't in your plane.
Wow, that was so bad. Like, all the landings I've flown off-flight lately were like 150 FPM. On the Charleroi I also had such a nice landing a few days ago, and now this is like the worst I had in mod. So, Thank You Online Game is asking if I'm going to buy the A340 when it comes out. Yeah, earlier in the stream I said I'm really thinking about it. The only reason why I'm a bit like not sure is that I'm really looking forward to getting the Dash 8, so the Q400 from FlyJSim when that comes out. That also should be coming out probably around Halloween, so maybe in a week. But yeah, I will see. I probably won't buy anything until the next weekend. Then I will decide. But yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a great purchase. All Toliss planes are nice. The previews look nice. So I'm sure purchase the A3400, the A340, A340, LA. That will be a good purchase. Okay, let's do a quick after. Okay, parking checklist is nice. So their after landing flow was to landing lights was often retracted. The nose wheel lights were set to taxi. Strobe lights were set to auto. Ground spoilers were disarmed. Engine mode was on normal. The weather radar was not even turned on, so that's off. Transponders on standby. Flaps are retracted. APU master is on, and we have started the APU. So the APU is already available. We'll probably need brake fans, because it's already getting hot there. And then the APU started, and the next items are only at the parking. So we go left and Mike 4, that's gonna be the first to the left. Mike 4 indeed. Oh, and there is somebody with an A340 at Charleroi. Interesting. Nice. Okay, so yeah, the landing was not great. Not great. But we'll still look at the replay to show how not great it was. And actually here to the left, yeah, there is a nice addition to my scenery. It's an active ground surface radar. I was going to show all the things, but then the bad landing really got me off my train of thoughts. And yeah, I have quite some lag. I don't know why. Is it or things running in the background? Okay, so I need to go to 5.3, and that's just here. So if I follow this line, and that goes to 5.3. Go down a bit. Marshaller should be visible. Yep, there is our marshaller. Don't turn too soon. Okay, keep turning, keep turning. It's or okay, that's a good angle to come. Okay, then let's press forward so I can see the guy. And should be there. Yeah. Okay, slower. Nice and slow. Okay, parking brakes on. And the lights off, so their guy is not blinded. AP is available, then APO bleed goes on. And yes, it's already off. APO bleed is on. And then engines can go off. Okay, engines are off. Chrono should have gone already off, but this timer can go off. Runway turn off lights off. Wing lights are off, beacon lights when the engines have stopped. Left engine, my god, that has stopped. Right engine, I don't know why I have all this stuttering. Okay, so engines have stopped. Beacon lights can go off. Seatbelt signs can go off, and welcome to Charleroi. The local time is 2 minutes past 9, and it's 11 degrees outside, but there is no rain, so it's just on average Belgian autumn day. And then the fuel pumps can go off. Fuel pumps go off, crew oxygen supply goes off. Brake fans can still stay on because I think our brakes are still quite hot. Wheel, no, actually not, so they are fine. But I have this assumption that if I turn the brake fans on, then very easily the temperature might still rise. We'll monitor that. And that was it. That was the parking. Proceed flow. We can have a look. APU bleed as required. The yellow electric pump is off. So that would be on if you would put it on here. Engines are off, seatbelt signs are off, exit lights as required, fuel pumps are off, parking brakes are set, mobile phones can be on, going on, standby. Yeah, we would put the transponder, but it's not simulated in IVAO, and the radar is off. And that's all good. So parking checklist is complete, and we can report on the blocks. Wizz Air 2185 is on the blocks.
Wizz Air 2185, monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good evening and thank you for pushing by. Goodbye.
122.8, thank you for the service for us and have a nice evening. Wizz Air 2185. Okay, so we go switch to Unicom 122.8, 122.8, 122.8, Unicom, and just have a quick look outside. Ah, the others have already unloaded. That's unfortunate. So there is just somebody at the wrong position actually. One thing I just want to quickly show.
Okay, that was nice flying.
Except for my landing.
I didn't see it, so.
I will show I will show the replay in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the view from the terrace.
Just looking for the link for the stream.
From above the terrace, that Airbus A340 is not parked at the right position. Because the A340s should be parked at the diagonal.
It's een vluchtvoorstellen.
So you can see that there are these diagonal parking lines.
Yeah, thank you.
That's where the A340s actually need to be parked. So there is here 1, 2, 3, and then there is also another one. Oops.
Well, it sure was a landing, a popcorn landing.
Yeah, definitely a popcorn landing. There is another parking spot here for the A340. And it's a bit of a pity that we got a parking at this position, because I would have been happy to park here in front of the main terminal, but of course it's less taxi, so less fuel. So in terms of flying, that's always good. I think what I have to do is to stop these stutters when we arrive to Charleroi, is to unload sceneries in the area that I don't use, so probably Brussels.
I already saw the landing, so I'll be
Luxembourg.
going offline now.
Alright,
thanks
Bas, for joining.
Streaming and for flying, Erwin, Peter. See you later.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Alright. I'm still gonna show the replay on the stream. So, replay on the stream. What we have to do is just to disconnect from the IVAO network before we do that. So we go offline. And then we can do a replay. Let's see. Okay, that's exactly from where we want to see the replay. And in normal speed. And let's do it first from outside. And then we'll do a wing view. Yeah, it's a bit of a pity for how it was, but so you can see here is the new part of the scenery. It's just this extended part of the runway. They did a lot of groundworks here also to fill up this area, because it was really, there was a lot of ground that had to be carried here and hardened. These are the two not yet used parts of the taxi. The not yet used taxiways. I think we're also a bit low above the threshold, and yeah, there is, the flare is way too late. Yes, so that was not what you want to see. That was worse than Ryanair. And that's the view from the tower of Charleroi. Alright, let's do another one from the wing views. Okay, and the wing view to the right, best wing view. And then one maybe from the runway itself, but I'm not so happy showing you the bad landing. I was really hoping I can make a nice landing in Charleroi, but that's what it is. And that's why we call ourselves the Popcorn Unicorn. Because there is something always going bad, and then with popcorn everything is better. But yeah, it was a nice flight. The Enhanced Skyscapes is a nice plugin. Charleroi Airport, please go and download it. It's a free airport from me. I've worked a lot on it. It's a nice airport. And you can also get my Wizz Air livery. And now this is going to be hard. Don't see it much because my head shake is probably not set. Yeah, I think for the side views I might not have set head shake to be active. But yes, so that's our arrival to Charleroi. Maybe one just quickly from the end of the runway, then we'll stop. Okay, let's go a bit further. And then from the threshold.
500.
Or let's just do it from the this is the terrace. We could also do it from the terrace. Always nice. We are above the terrace because the terrace has glass, and through the glass it's impossible to see the airplane themselves, unfortunately. Yeah, these stutters are a bit annoying. I didn't have that lately, so something must be running in the background. Yep. Hey. Well, not proud of it, but that's what it is. Alright, so basically thank you for joining for this stream again. And I will just quickly turn off, of course, the whole plane. So the parking brake is on. The ADIRs can go off too. All exterior lights can go off. strobe lights off, nav lights and logo lights off. APU bleed off. The APU master switch off. And the radio management panels can also be turned off. 1 and 3. The transponder also off. No smoking sign off, and the emergency exit lights also off, and the battery 2 and 1 off, and the plane is back to cold and dark. Not really cold because things are still hot, but dark. So that was it, and that was our arrival to Charleroi with Wizz Air from Nice, the airport of Charleroi. I hope that I can stream again in the future. It will depend on my real life flights. If there is real life flying, I will not have time for streaming because I have to edit the real life videos. But if the flights are cancelled for weather or whatever, then I will try to stream next weekend again. And hopefully the Q400 will be released. Or if that still takes a long time, then the next stream will be the Toliss A340. Thanks for joining. See you next time, and land nicer than this landing was, because this was not nice. But as they say, all landings are alright landings if you can walk away from it. Still a landing you can definitely walk away from it, and I think they only do inspections of the airframe. The landing was 750 feet per minute. That was definitely not the case here, so not catastrophic, but I'm sure the passengers were not happy. Alright, thanks for joining, fly safe, and see you next time. And of course, you can always subscribe and like the video if you want to be notified about next streams. Bye bye! Okay.